Alright, if you've been here for a while, you remember that I painted my bathroom floors and then I stenciled them. Some people loved it, some people thought I was absolutely crazy, and some people said it wouldn't last more than a month. Well, sorry to break it to all the doubters, but guess what? It lasted in perfect condition for 3 years, and the only reason it didn't is because I tore it up. But before we get to the tearing up of the floor, let's get to how I painted my bath and shower tile. Lots of hate on this one too, and it makes me laugh how so concerned people are about what other people do in their houses. Like, people really had a lot of strong opinions. But look how freaking good it looked! Anyways, back to the floors. A lot of people were really angry I tore this up, which is hilarious. I just can't make everybody happy. Now, I tried with a hammer and a chisel. That didn't work, so I gave up and got to work taking out the tile in the bathtub area and the shiplap I had put on the wall and the ceiling. Then my hero came in with bigger power tools, my husband Tyler. He tore all of this up when I was out of town for me, which was a huge lifesaver. If I ever do this again, I'll be hiring it out for sure. I added a membrane to the floor and then started laying tile. I chose this gorgeous hexagon tile from Raya Tiles and this all-natural tile from them too, and it's gorgeous. This is like a clay tile. I'm super happy with it, and this is exactly the look I was going for. Also, just so you know, it's easier because you don't have to worry about it being perfect, since it's not meant to look perfect. Once that was all installed, I started grouting it. This is also going to be the same tile that's going to be in my shower eventually. Check out how pretty it is. I'm completely obsessed with the finished look. The natural earthy tones just really make me happy. I grouted all the hexagon tile in the color Driftwood by Mapei. I think that's how you say their brand name. I was going to go with a lighter color, but I really didn't want to worry about the grout darkening over time. And then I hated the front of the bathtub, so I added this pole wrap type stuff. And then I painted it in Alabaster by Sherwin-Williams. This is the same color that's on the walls. Now, a few years ago, my husband built me a barn door, but it had warped because it was real wood. So I decided to give it a try with MDF because this doesn't warp, and I sealed it so it's not gonna warp from the humidity either. Before we got that installed, I installed all the door trim, and then we installed this gorgeous barn door that I built. And the color is Accessible Beige by Sherwin-Williams because I know you'll ask. This was such a success that I would love to build another barn door. I didn't want the back of the door to be too boring, so I added this wallpaper. It's the same wallpaper that is on the ceiling of my master closet. Not gonna lie, that was a pain to get on the ceiling. And then it was time to work on the vanity area. This one I was really excited about, but I did need some muscle to get that huge countertop out with the 2 sinks. It was really heavy. I got the cabinets removed and then got to work building my own vanity. It was gonna be floating and I was super excited. But then when we tried to put it in, we realized that the walls were not straight, so I had to take it apart again in order to get it installed. We figured it'd be easier to tile before it got installed, so I went ahead and did that. I really love this tile, but if you've never tiled before, hexagon tile is not easy and not very forgiving. Even with using spacers, it was really hard to get all the spaces exactly even. Now that it was taken apart, it was a lot easier to get installed at an angle, and then we just put it back together right there. Then I got it stained in Spice Brown by Duracell. This is such a pretty color. And for all of y'all that are gonna freak out that I have wood under my sinks, don't worry, I sealed it like a million times. I've been told General Finishes is the best kind of sealer. The face frame and the backing is oak and I routed it. Look how pretty that is. And then to go under the sink, I couldn't just waste that space, so I built drawers to go around the piping, and it worked out perfectly. I really try to utilize every little bit of space I can in my projects, even if that means a little bit more work like building these drawers differently. These drawer fronts are also oak. It's the same piece that I used up top. Once I got those installed, the whole thing started coming together. It was so pretty. I was so excited. And now it was time to pick out drawer pulls. Luckily, I had these ones on hand. I had ordered these ones off of Amazon for my kitchen, but then I couldn't find any knobs that were the same finish, so I ended up just storing them away until they came in handy for right here. I've also used them other places throughout my house, like my entryway built-ins. And since I wasn't planning on covering these pipes up, I primed them and then added Rub and Buff to match my faucet. Then I touched up the paint on the bottom to make everything look more finished. And then to fix the backing where the shiplap was, we added that pole wrap that I added in front of the tub, and I got all of that painted. We also got the vanity light put up. Then in between projects, I had this bright idea to make this little tiny cabinet out of scrap wood from my garage, and it turned out so good. People have been really liking this project. I put the carcass together with brad nails and wood glue, and then I built my own doors and then installed those. I just used face frame hinges for these, and look how good it turned out. This is to hold our toilet paper and other bathroom accessories, like my husband's dude wipes. And now it's time to address these ugly builder grade open shelves. I was going to knock down that wall and expand the shower, but then I had this idea that I wanted some more storage. So I got to work building some cabinets. Yes, the shower idea would have been really cool. It would have been really nice to have a bigger shower, but also storage is really important too, right? This is a lower cabinet I'm building right here. I'm doing it in sections because the bottom is going to have drawers and then the top is going to be shelving with doors in front of it. And I'm building a cabinet instead of installing drawers on the drywall because, like the vanity area, drywall is never straight. So I got that one installed by myself, and then my husband came home and helped me install the top one. That was gigantic. It was also really heavy, and there's no way I could have done this on my own. And he had to push it into the opening on the top because the top of the drywall was more narrow than the bottom. Now, up top, I could have just added shelves to the drywall, but I wanted it to look like furniture and be wood inside. So I got to work building a face frame that is also oak. Look how pretty that is. And now for the drawers. I'm using 1/2-inch plywood, cut them down to size, and then I glued and brad nailed them all together. And now for a test fit, please work. Spoiler alert, the middle one did get stuck and the drawer slide broke, so I've got to order another one. I have big plans for the doors. I want them arched. So I went and bought a $100 piece of oak and cut arches in them, so let's hope this works. The top piece is a 1x12 and then the sides are 1x3 oak. I think I spent like $200 on these doors. Okay, that might be a little bit dramatic. That does include the drawer fronts in that cost, but it did cost $200. Again, the stain color is Spice Brown. It's a Duracell color. I wanted the same color as my vanity, and these drawers are the same style as my vanities too. Also, everybody installs drawers with their feet, right? So you see me right here shooting some brad nails in from the front, and then I will secure them with screws from the back. And this is where we were a few days ago, and this is where we are now. I am so excited with how it's turning out. This whole bathroom is really coming along. Now for the sucky part, that left door is a little bit warped. Some people have suggested laying it on a flat surface with weights on it. I'm thinking I might have to rebuild it though. We'll see. The plans for the doors, I'm going to add reeded glass to them and then put some hardware on them, and that should be pretty much done. Now for the exciting part about the shower. This is also going to be an arched wall right here, and I cannot wait. But I'll be honest, I am putting it off because I'm a little bit nervous. A whole shower is a lot of work. And that pole wrap material will be going on the ceiling. And it will be painted alabaster as well. I just love added texture. And this is where we are right here at the second. So stay tuned. I've got so much more planned for this room. And one thing I didn't mention is this wood slat wall. That was one of my very first projects in this house. Now, can you imagine the shower being arched with that natural tile?